prayer today. Jesus, the light of the world, as we celebrate your birth, may we begin to see the world in the light of understanding you give to us. You are close to the challenged, the outcast, and the poor, to receive the greatest news the world has ever known. So we may worship you in meekness of the heart. May we also remember our brothers and sisters less fortunate than ourselves in the season of giving. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Item number 1, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of October 26th, 21.
I'll make this motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for special meeting on November 4th, 2021.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Abstain.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute Resolution 21-173, itemizing the financials. Oh, that's Adrian, you already snuck up here.
Yeah.
You were reading it so well,
Okay.
so I just figured I would
Let it
let you
go.
go.
Hey, next week I'll take your job. No big deal.
Oh, no. Maybe we should change that, okay. So today's financials include an appropriations, transfers, and supplementals to true up expense accounts balances for the year end, and a transfer from Water Resources Water Fund to the county's Water System Construction Fund. And among the vouchers are $12,372.99 from maintenance to East Ohio Gas Company for utility bills due before the next regular financial session. So we're just trying to avoid late charges
Yep,
on
yep.
those, so.
Gotcha.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
Appreciate it.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
You doing, Nick?
Good, good.
Good.
This morning, requesting the board approve and execute change order number 1 and final, increasing the contract with Roniak Paving for the asphalt resurfacing of Russell Road in Russell Township in the amount of $19,061.97. That road was really far out of crown, normal crown, so we ended up having to put in an additional leveling course, just so that when we paved it correctly, we had the proper crown on it. So that was, we thought we'd get most of it with the milling we did, but we still needed to put a leveling surface.
More material. Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Great.
Thank you.
See you, Nick. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good morning. Good.
All right, for item 5 today, we are requesting that you execute an amendment to the PY 2021 Community Development Program grant between Ohio Department of Development and the county for attachment D, which is a revised attachment related to grantee assurances and certifications.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Have a nice Christmas.
Yep. Good week.
And the next one here, Water Resources is requesting to advertise internally for 5 days and then externally if no candidate is found for a construction inspector. They have an open position
Oh,
there,
yeah.
and the current construction inspector is out indefinitely at this point, so with projects coming up.
So that's a full-time, that construction inspector?
Yes,
Yeah.
Does, I mean, they do more than
Other
construction
than that.
inspection, yeah, they
Yeah.
do in-office work, they do all the utility statings whenever we get the oops
Mhm.
notifications. They do some of the help with going out to customers and finding cleanouts for them, or,
Okay.
when they have to back up.
So that isn't something that one employee could do, that's not like a part-time thing, it's something that a
It's
full-time?
full-time job,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
With the current construction inspector out indefinitely, and the
Mhm.
projects that are coming up, that Water Resources has started, they're looking to add another construction inspector.
Okay, very good.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Warren.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thanks.
The next item is the letter of engagement with Squire Patton and Boggs for next year, for 2022, regarding any bonding, as well as also helping us with doing the annual reporting we're required to do
Yep.
for the bonds we currently have.
Very good.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart.
Yeah.
All right. NeoCap Facility Governing Board, they had sent an email back in November that Marna Drum, the one, was retiring from the board, so we need to find a replacement to fill her position. Mr. Hagner had left the board last year, and you appointed Mr. Fink to fill the remainder of his term, which went through November 9th of this year. Lake County has already approved his reappointment, and so I'm asking you to reappoint Mr. Fink to fill out an actual term through '24 on that board, and then we still have to find a replacement for Marna.
Okay.
No.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart.
Yes.
That's resolution. And then I'm asking you to move into a work session to discuss reorg meeting.
Okay.
Are we able, this is still part of the agenda, or part of the?
Correct. This is, we're just moving into the work session part of it. We'll come back out of the work session, and then you can,
Okay, because we will have another add-on item when the prosecutor gets here.
correct.
I just wanted to make sure
Right,
we
no,
didn't
no,
have to
no, we're,
recess and start
no,
again.
we're
So
just
it's all
moving, we're
part of that.
moving into a work session portion of the meeting, which there's no formal decision can be
Okay.
made. We'll come out of the work session, go back into a regular session, and then you guys can
Okay, that's fine. I just
do
wanted
what
to
you
make
need
sure.
to do.
Good.
So,
I like your sweater.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Is that a dinosaur on there?
Excuse me?
Is that a dinosaur?
I don't, it looked like Smeeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I bought it. Ralph looked real good on TV this morning, too.
Oh,
He
really?
didn't smile, though.
I did not know that.
But he was on TV. Merry Christmas.
That was this
Thank
morning?
you. Thanks, Howard. Yeah.
Ah.
Are we gonna have a new members of the planning commission this year, do you think?
that's part of what we're gonna discuss
Okay,
here
well,
yeah.
in the pile,
That's,
so.
I think that's very important.
And then, John Oros, he, stepped down from Rural Advisory.
Yes.
So we need to find a new
Yeah.
replacement for him.
So in front of you is a packet, which is like the format that we always use for reorg. The first thing is to discuss president and vice president for next year. The meeting schedule is the same as last year for like information wise. And then the second page is your board appointments, where you sit. What is listed is where you currently are. So we need to discuss how that will, and some of those will be dependent upon who's president and vice president. But you'll also notice on here next to the planning commission board, number 15, I added a space for your alternates. So if you'd like to just do that at the beginning of the year, then it will be set. The next item that's on there is the Board of Revision. So we will have a primary and the alternates will be the two board members, and then adding Jerry, in case three of you are unable to go.
Okay.
So, the other thing that's on here is your staff appointments, if you wanna make any changes to those. County administrator exercise powers, which is the resolution that authorizes Jerry to do items outside. I gave you a copy of that. We did make
Yep.
some changes to it. Under 13, under where he's allowed to hire, promote, and reclassify, we also added to rescind items if necessary.
Okay.
But that does exclude the commissioner's office. So any actions that would be for this office or archives still has to be done by the three of you. Under unpaid leave of absence, we also added to the ability to rescind those actions. Personal resignations, it excludes the commissioner's office, and then permission to advertise to fill employment positions under the hiring authority. We had it as following the acceptance of a resignation, but we've added hiring, promotion, or classification excluding the commissioner's office. So when he does a proof it's a hire or a promotion or a reclassification, if we then need to fill the vacant position rather than waiting to come back to session, we're asking that he has the ability then to do that advertisement. So there's no delay. And then increase, the ability to increase current positions that are already posted and close them if they deem necessary. So those are the changes that we're asking for on his resolution. Drainage engineer I have highlighted. I just got an email from Adrian, and I'm waiting for confirmation from the engineers and payroll. The dollar amount is going to change because of the increase in the census. So with your increases that you all received for the, it's gonna change. It looks like it's going from 446.10 to 479.16.
How much?
It says 479.16, starting with pay number 2, and then pay number 26 is gonna be 479.36, according to Adrian's calculations.
Okay.
Your prevailing wage coordinators, if you want to leave them as Jerry and Nick. Apiary, Mr. Davis, you appointed him as a temporary until we can find a more permanent inspector for Jaga County. Actually got an email from him this morning because I hadn't heard anything, and I had been in contact with Ms. Blotcher from the Ohio Department of Agriculture. And he is, while Lake County is officially his territory, he's asking for your support and allowing him to remain on as the beekeeper for temporary inspector for Jaga County. And they are still trying to find a more permanent one for us. Barb is working on it, he's working on it, but he asked if you would continue to allow him to be your inspector for Jaga County. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very hard to find.
Yeah.
they are very hard to find, and so he's doing double duty for us. So that was good that he reached out, and I got that this morning. And then the other thing that I have on here is your board appointments. We have one for Board of DD, Laura Jansen, and she's actually asked to stay on the board. She's asked to be reappointed, and that would go through 25, the end of 25. Job and Family Services has their Family Services Planning Committee. They are the same appointments that have been on there for the last year. They include Jerry and Jessica and Mr. Hildebrand. And the only new one would be to appoint Timothy Kairas, who is the Family First coordinator, the new replacement. They replaced Nancy with Ben, and then he
Ben.
left, and so now it's Timothy
Timothy, what's his last name?
Kairas.
I haven't met him yet.
So that would be the only new appointment to that board, is to put him then in place. And Planning Commission has the 3 positions. The only one that I have heard from.
When did that Ben make an official that he was stepping off?
Ben?
Yeah.
Yes. He
When was that?
resigned.
I didn't hear much about that.
I didn't either.
Ben?
I didn't know.
He was the new fellow that came in for Nancy.
Oh.
I got an email from Rachel in November, I think it was, that said that he had left, and
November?
That was
See,
the
I never
first I
heard
had
that.
heard that. And I had to ask Jerry, I said, did you know that he had left? And he said no. So,
Huh.
and then we got the request that Jerry acknowledged the other day of Mr. Timothy Kairas.
So I didn't even hear about the hiring of this Timothy Kairas. That's interesting.
So, I think last Tuesday, that was part of your, your acknowledgements from the previous week.
Okay.
He just started on December 6th, I believe, is when what his hire day was. So the Planning Commission obviously has 3 positions, Mr. Stevens, Mr. Claypool, and Mr. Miller, that are all at the end of the year. Mr. Stevens has asked not to be reappointed. I did get an application for Skip requesting to be reappointed, and I have not heard anything on Mr. Miller. So those are the only outstanding board appointments at this time.
Does anyone talk to Chester Miller?
No,
No?
haven't.
No.
He probably, he doesn't want to be there. He made that remark last week. Mr. Miller said he doesn't want to.
Maybe we
But
should.
we need an Amish person on the board.
Maybe you should advertise for, these positions open.
We had talked about that before, and you guys at the time didn't want to advertise that. If you'd like to change your mind, we can put out a memo, put it up on the website to accept applications.
I think that'd be good.
And we could try to find a few applicants.
Yeah.
The only other thing that I have in front of you is your meeting schedule for
Mhm.
22. The changes are the addition of the June 19th holiday. Juneteenth.
What's that?
That was the holiday that they added last year at the last minute, like after the fact,
June
basically.
June
On
18th at 12 o'clock.
Oh, that's right.
So it was officially changed in the ORC.
But I mean, what is it
From,
though? Like, what is it?
It's an extra paid holiday.
I mean, is it celebrating what?
It's celebrating I guess what do you call it, unofficial.
The emancipation.
It's the actual date that the slave, last slave was free.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a federal holiday now.
Okay. It's a federal holiday?
It's a state, yeah.
State
Yeah,
holiday.
Or
and
state.
it was, and it
It's a
was
state.
changed in the
Well,
ORC.
it's federal and state.
Yes.
We don't follow the federal holidays unless the state says it's a holiday also.
So is it technically,
Yes,
we would
they
have to...
Yes,
changed the
they
Ohio
did.
Revised
They
Code
did
to
change
create,
the
to
Okay.
make that a holiday.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So then that will, because it's observed on a Monday, because Sunday is the 19th, then it would slide our meeting that week to the Thursday.
So the 14th is a Thursday then?
No, the 19th is a Sunday, so it's observed on Monday, the 20th.
Okay.
So our meeting that week would be on Thursday, the 23rd.
I see that.
So
TH.
that's a slide for the addition of that. Fair this year, because it's the 200th anniversary, they are starting fair on Wednesday.
Yep.
And it's a full, day of, celebrations and recognitions and parades and all kinds of that such
And I think
stuff.
everybody gets in free. on
Yes,
Wednesday.
there's no charge on
No charge on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So in talking to Paul, because they would like you to be there most of the day on Wednesday for all of the stuff that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
we're leaning towards having a regular meeting here on Tuesday and not doing our meeting at the fair on Thursday, because the day before is actually the
Celebration.
for the anniversary. So we could do any of the resolutions and whatnot we were gonna do for them, we could do them on Tuesday, and then you have them to present on Wednesday, and just not do the fair meeting on Thursday.
Okay.
Because otherwise, then you would be here, there. That's a lot, so I
Yeah.
wasn't, that was just and that was coming from having a conversation with Paul. He was just not do the meeting at the fair this year.
Okay.
So that you guys will be there and stuff and things on Wednesday. So, think about it. And then the only other thing I have on there is, discussion on whether you wanted to close the day after Thanksgiving. Holidays are,
Yeah. The Friday.
the day
Yeah.
after Thanksgiving, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make sure that.
And what, in
What day
Christmas,
is that?
what day's Christmas on?
Christmas is on
Christmas will be on Sunday this year.
on Sunday.
It's on Saturday this year, so next year, it's not a leap year, so.
It's on a
Yes, so we're
Sunday.
closed on Monday, the
So we'll be closed on
26th.
Monday the 26th.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be the day off?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then session would be that Thursday, the 29th is the last meeting of the year, and then,
And same things for New Year's Day too.
and then it shifts the reorg meeting for the following year, because we'll have a little extra time next year, for the following year, other than
Mm.
coming back and jumping right into it like this year, so.
I see.
So it's up to you guys whether you wanna talk about board appointments for next year, or if you just wanna send them to me, what your thoughts are. We have a little bit of time between now and then I just wanted to get it in front of you so you can start thinking about it.
Okay.
So that everybody can go for the 4th.
All right.
And the only other thing that's not on here is, of course, the annual approval of the credit cards, and they're still coming in, so that will get done next week, so.
Well, thanks for the details. And we'll view it,
So,
figure it out.
look it over, talk about it, send me some of your thoughts. and
Okay.
Final decisions will get made at reorg on the 4th. So,
January 4th, okay.
yes, the first meeting of the year is Tuesday the 4th, and we'll do a reorg session. So, no other questions on that, I'll be back out of our work session, back into regular session at 10:03. And then Mr. Williams is here.
Do you need a motion on the county administrator powers, or not now?
Not now.
Okay,
We'll do it.
Everything in the 4th.
Everything will be on the 4th.
okay.
I just wanted to make sure that I got the packet in front of you guys to look
review.
at and start letting you know any changes you want to make to your appointments or
Okay.
your alternates and whatnot for next year.
All right.
Thank you.
So,
And we would look to move into executive session for the purpose of discussing imminent litigation.
Okay. I make a motion to go into executive session. Second. For those reasons.
Mr. Spiller?
Aye.
Mr. Linder?
Hi.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Oh, and this will be with prosecutor please. Imminent litigation.
Okay, thank you.
You're up.
See you there, guys.
Okay.
See ya.
Later, Adam.
Merry Christmas, Em.
What are you doing for Christmas?
I'm going out to Youngstown near my brother. Or well, his girlfriend's family invited us all over for Christmas Eve dinner.
All of you.
These are the
Southern
seven
credit
fishes.
card needs for next year.
Jim.
You know, as a prosecutor.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, festive.
You don't look festive. You know,
No, it's what's in here. It's like
see,
the
that's
Grinch.
festive.
You know what? Did the Grinch wear anything festive?
He had a Santa hat on at one point.
He was dressed as Santa Claus at one point. Just because he was stealing it doesn't mean.
Okay.
I'm ready. We'll go back in the regular session. Jim?
Well, coming out of executive session, I'd ask the board, obviously, we're getting near the end of the year. We've got some timing issues with the building. I'd like to try to put the Board of Elections thing to bed. I've been negotiating with their council, and, we've talked about some different changes that would be made to the building. We did a walkthrough with them, Jerry and I and Laura, and with some of the board members and their employees and their council. They've requested several different changes in the realm of trying to settle this matter. I think a few of the changes are very reasonable. They're operational issues, and I know you guys have each expressed to me your strong interest in making this good for the voters. I know you're upset at the Board of Elections, but you've all said to me, hey, if it's something good for the voter, you want to do it. So there's certain changes that could be made that would probably be, under $40,000. So, but again, we need to do this pretty quickly because it's scheduled down there. I'm not sure that we can settle it, but I'd like to at least try to negotiate a settlement. And if you guys could make a motion to authorize Jerry to enter into a settlement agreement with the Board of Elections, not to exceed $40,000 in changes to the new building, that would probably, Jerry and I could then work with their attorney and maybe get something done in the next week, would be the goal.
That'd be great.
Do you want it to be Jerry to sign it, or do you want it to let it
I
be
would-
one of them, because he's
I-
not here next week?
I can agree by phone and just sign as soon as I get back.
He's not
Okay.
here.
Or do one of you want to, or do you, who's
We
gonna
have
be around?
session next Tuesday.
Who's gonna be around?
I'll be around.
We'll be around.
What do you want to do? You want to be, enter an agreement, you want to authorize Jim to do it on behalf of the board?
Well, I
Or me?
Authorize myself and Jim if that's,
Is that okay with you guys?
Yep.
And then I'd probably, one of their board members would have to sign it, their attorney, I would sign it as your attorney, and then either Jim or Jerry would sign it. Is that okay?
Sounds good. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWolf.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So just to be clear, that there's an additional potential up to $40,000 in changes, and you explained to me what they were. They're pretty basics, and putting some windows and certain things in. But just to add, this is in addition to north of $200,000 in changes that we've already gone back and forth with multiple different inputs from board members. And not so much their employees over there have been, very good to work with and in good faith, but, the board members there have been not so much. And once we take 2 steps forward, it was, 10 steps back. So just to be clear, between legal fees, change orders, and now another set of change orders, we're gonna be close to roughly $240,000 additional to what this could have been done a year ago, if they would have taken our offer and worked together as a group to solve these problems.
correct.
Okay, just putting that out on the record again.
Yeah, and every change that they made, it really bottled up and slowed down the construction.
Yeah, we did, because
At the
we had a
job site.
stop work order on the basement for a while, because of this. I will say, again, I appreciate you guys doing this, because now they've asked for a number of things, but I think the things that we've identified as, eliminating blind spots, working out this, handicapped curbside voting issue, I mean, that's what we're talking about
Yeah,
here
those are
now.
necessities.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are
Yeah.
things that need to happen. Again, I think if they'd worked with you earlier, we could have identified these earlier and
Exactly.
saved money, certainly, but again, you gotta do this stuff, I
Yeah.
think. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
think these are unreasonable
Yep.
requests, so.
Yeah, anything that, help the voter and the handicapped people and everything else, we're all for.
Yeah, and this would do that, and again, yeah, you're paying a premium cost for it because of the dysfunction, but, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you gotta serve the voters,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah. It'd be nice to, get an acknowledgement, or, probably never hear that, oops, we were wrong, or an apology would be nice. Yeah.
I don't think you're on the Christmas card list.
Yeah,
Tim.
yeah.
You're not here anyway.
I can ask.
But at least we got this far, and hopefully, before the end of the year, hopefully we can,
Yeah, I mean, we need to, I mean, the drywall was stacked up down there when we did the
Yeah, they're
walkthrough. I
waiting,
mean,
they're chomping at the bit.
I am continually amazed at the pace
Mhm.
of construction down there.
it's,
Fantastic.
being from the construction industry for 40 years, it's like, get the material there, get out of my way, we'll build a building.
Mhm.
And that's the attitude down there, and we're on time, on budget. It's, we
I
said
think
this
you're ahead
before,
of time
but,
and below budget even, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
but, to me, that we have the dream team.
Yeah,
Whether the community knows it or not, we have the dream team on building a building.
yeah, yeah.
And hats off to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's going very well,
Well,
so.
and you guys too, Jerry and Jim, you guys have been great,
I haven't done anything.
Yeah. For sure. for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm very happy. Getting this out of the way would be very nice from my
Yeah.
perspective, so.
Okay.
So I appreciate your guys' cooperation. I know it's not,
Thank you
I know
for
it's
what you do.
frustrating, but thank you,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, if we can get this agreement, this is kind of the end of the process.
Okay.
We're moving forward and no more
Yeah.
changes, no.
I can't wait to get the public in there and utilizing the building, it'll be great. And then just for the record, I guess, so the next election, they will be here, right?
Yeah,
They'll be here.
they'll be here for the primary,
For the primary.
and they have requested to be here through the general
General.
Sure,
election
I've signed it there.
also.
Okay.
Printed
Which
here.
we have said if that's
Yeah,
what they wanna
probably.
do, they can
That's
stay
weird.
here, but they have to figure out
Just
what it
sign
is, and
right
they have
there.
to put it in their budget for the additional costs.
Okay, for
I can't
2022.
decipher some of
Yeah.
these that people do.
Okay, well, thank you. Merry Christmas,
thank you.
everyone.
Yeah, have a nice Christmas.
Yeah,
Thanks,
take
Jim.
care.
Jim,
Appreciate
before
it.
you leave, is there any further word relative to the city of Sheridan?
No, we have there's a conference with the judge on January 20th, so we're gonna meet with the judge again and talk to
Okay, so that'll be online though, notice of that?
Yes, but I don't think there'll be any like public hearing. I think it's more just an attorney conference with the judge, but I think clients have to be there, so.
Okay,
Jerry will
but
be there.
usually those are listed as well.
Well, it's on the docket.
It'll be on the docket?
Yeah, it's on the docket.
Okay, well, that would be helpful. All right, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Take
your
care.
help, buddy.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Motion to adjourn, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas to all.
Merry Christmas.
Even without the snow, we'll land it.
All right, so you're not gonna be here Tuesday?
Working.
Next Tuesday? Okay.
I'm gonna be out of town.
Okay.
Next
But
Hopefully everything goes well with
we
the-
do.
We still have a
Okay.
meeting on Tuesday.
And that's,
I've
we'll
thought-
address this?
Yep.
We have
All
other
good,
stuff we
all
have
good.
on for
See you
regular
guys.
agenda items.
Merry
but-
Christmas.
Okay, Ralph.
Okay.
If it's-
works out, though, just put it on
Yeah.
the agenda.
Yeah.
But if it's the
For
timing-wise,
this?
Does,
for the-
is he aware that they're not gonna be here?
It'd be worth reaching out to Jim
Yeah.
for that information. Valuable information.
You know, I have a further question, if I may. All right, so the Board of Election is going to be in this building through the primary, May, presumably, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And November.
May and November.
That's what they requested.
Yeah.
They said because of it being, such a big election, they see being that, it'd be too difficult for them to switch that in time. To move in and then held the election. So they feel more comfortable doing it out of here, and then as soon as it's over, everything will go straight to the new building.
So that explains the payment of the
Where Manhattan used to be.
spectrum
Right
bill.
on Park.
I think they're talking about that at ADP.
Yeah,
Is that where, yeah.
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 They were claiming they had, that was the first they heard about it.
Yeah. That's a separate subject,
Yeah, and they didn't plan on it, they didn't have a good plan
They,
they wanted to stay, we gave them permission to stay, but they didn't figure out all the things.
The cost. Like they have to come up with a budget to stay.
Like having a horse and you go, oh, I think I need a barn for that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
we
have
need
to
some,
feed
we
it.
gotta feed it.
Oh, maybe we should run some water out to the barn,
No,
for the
well,
horse.
Happy New Year.
But they got the horse,
Yeah.
Next year.
but they didn't know all the details, they didn't figure out the
Merry Christmas.
details.
Bye, buddy. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Chrissy,
Merry
Yes.
Merry Christmas,
Have a good time now.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good one.
will.
Forgive me.
We gave them the
Oh,
horse.
I'm still waiting on the,
It's insane.
Yeah,
it's a little more involved than I thought it was gonna be,
Really?
all the legal costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would just be like, we could punch it up because it's our insurance, and the Corsa covers some, and some it doesn't cover, but I'm trying to get a breakdown of everything,
interesting.
but I should have it soon.
No problem. But that is interesting with the Board of Elections. They were,
Ugh.
I listened in on that ADP meeting and, oh my, they were just confounded.
Yeah.
I mean, and genuinely so. They just like,
Yeah.
And every department is supposed to be specialized in their department. And so, we give them trust and respect to run their department. And in our eyes, for the voter and for the handicapped people, we'll bend over backwards for the voter.
What they're paying for USB thumb drives, that just blew me away.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
$104 a drive. I could pick them up for $10.
Right.
Exact same.
Yeah, I don't know
part
if they're
number.
different or something special, or
No. There's
is that
nothing.
what they are? They're encrypted?
Encrypted.
Yeah,
In
USB
fact-
3.2.
In fact, we thought maybe it would be important for Chuck Walder to know. I mean, he's
Yeah.
pretty knowledgeable on many fronts.
But like I said, the employees have been fantastic to work with there over the years. They really, I think they try their best and they do their best. And but it's from what I've perceived and trying to be as accommodating as I could through this building process and the commissioners, I think as a whole, it just, there's a lot of, there's too many cooks in the kitchen or something. Once you get the board members wanting to micromanage the employees and micromanage the process, and, you know, everybody's got a different vision, and then they have, you know, 3 or 4 different directors come rolling through, and they
Yeah.
all have different ideas.
Yeah.
Which we were willing to accommodate those every step of the way. We was like, you know, they wanted to be on the first floor, the third floor, the basement, and then it was like, let's start all over again. So, you know,
Have you been able to talk to the ADP commission? Because during the course of that meeting, there was pretty active talk about miscommunication.
Yeah, I spoke up on the miscommunication.
Okay.
yeah,
So you were at that meeting.
Misunderstanding,
You were
yeah,
there.
but I mean.
yeah. I mean,
They were they were so frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, you know, where did this come from now?
yeah.
Well, they pulled that motion, so they wanted to regroup, and so they left, and they want, you know, they have to figure it out.
You know, it's just a lot of,
A lot of loose ends.
yeah.
So will the Spectrum contract, originally it was supposed to go through 2024. And how long will it go now? Just through
Well,
2022?
ADP is working on that because, you know, they're working on it because it's gonna be another extra charge for them to stay all the way to the end of
Oh,
next year.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
oh, yeah. And the
Just
concern
for them.
also, yeah, but the concern also was that the connections, they were, you know, the actual connections were not intended for that, and electronically, they might not work.
Mm-hmm.
That idea was expressed as well. So.
I think maybe you should go down and interview the election board. Hey, you guys ever think about this? You ever think about that? You ever think about
Oh,
this?
we've gotten plenty of dirty looks down there too.
That's hard to believe.
It's too hard beating your head against the wall, you know?
Yeah.
It may be a little better now, but for a while, no. There could be a great deal of antagonism there. So, regardless, I mean, it's just, hope it's a better year coming up.
And just,
Yep.
just to be clear, when we're discussing this, it's really the board, because the employees down there have been perfect working with us all along
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah.
It's- I mean, they've
Yeah,
come up with solutions themselves, and that it's,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that nobody takes it that we're beating up on the employees down there, because they've been perfect through this whole process.
Yeah. You know, they've always looked for a way to solve the problem.
Yeah.
You know, they have.
They've adapted and pivoted through COVID, and like
Yeah.
Tom said earlier about the tents and everything with our maintenance department, it's like, we're doing everything we can to
Yeah.
make provisions for the voter.
And that's what I was trying to say is, say, look, you know,